to Brett Ridgway's Learning for Life. This is lesson 1. We're doing part A of a tune called The Girl I Left Behind Me. We're in standard G tuning. I didn't play part B for you because we're only doing part A today, and that's what I want you to focus on. So we're going to get started right away. We're going to put our middle finger on the first string at 5 and our pointer finger on the first string at 4, and we're simply going to do a pull off. When you do your pull off, make sure this back finger stays down. Don't lift the pressure. You don't have to press really hard, but just enough to get the sound. And you're literally pulling to the side. You're not lifting off, you're pulling off. Then you're going to slide down to 2, open, second string open, third string open. And you want to play that, and we've been doing this for a while, you want to play it at various speeds. You want to play it until you get it down, and then you want to really slow it down. And really focus when you're playing it slow what you're doing. And then you want to speed it up. Sorry. And not that you're going to play it that fast. That's not the point. You just want to speed it up, slow it down, play it like medium speed, slow it way, way down, because that's going to build the muscle memory in your hands. It's also going to help you remember it, but we're working on getting the muscle memory in our hands. So I would stop here and I would learn just this so that you can play it without looking at it even. We're going to move on. You're going to put your middle finger on the third string, second fret, and you're going to do a slide 2 to 4. Then you're going to come back and do a pull off, 2 to open. Then you're going to put that middle finger on the fourth string at 2, and then open. Same thing. You want to build up the speed. You want to play it very, very slow, medium speed. If you want to stop here and do that, that's good. If you want to keep moving, you can, but make sure you have that down. We're going to put it together. By the way, that's your first of the 4 phrases. I would stop here and memorize that. Take some time, get it down, play it slow, play it fast, play it medium. That's your first phrase. By the way, your third phrase is identical except for the last note. So here's our first phrase. By the way, when you start playing it fast, don't get sloppy with it. Then you're going to hit the third string, hesitation. Then hammer on open to 2 on the third string, just like you're doing a D7. Then hammer on open to 1 on the second string. So third string, hesitation, hammer on open to 2 on the third, open to 1 on the second, and then the first string open. So it's going to sound like this. And then back to the second string. First string, second string, and I just kind of did a hesitation there. phrase down there. Now, the third phrase I said is like the first. So let's put the first two together. That's your last note of the first. Then we're repeating that first phrase. The last note will be different. Now, the difference is, in the first phrase, we went like this. Let me play just the first phrase. Then we played the fourth string open. Here's the third phrase. Instead of hitting the fourth string open, you're hitting the third string open. So let's do it even more so. That's your first phrase, here's your third. So let's put all three phrases together. And I would definitely stop right here. Make sure you can play all three of those phrases together. No hesitations in between, no spaces that you can play it straight through. Make sure your timing's right. Make sure you can play it at a very, very slow speed. Make sure you can play it at a medium speed. Make sure you can play it at a fast speed, and then slow it down again, and then go to medium, then to slow, and just jump around with your speeds to build that muscle memory. So I'm going to play all three again, and then we're going to put in the last phrase. It's your third phrase. Here's your last phrase. You're going to put your ring finger on the fourth string at 4 and your pointer finger on the third string at 2. All right, now I can't really get those fingers out of the way so you can see it. It's going to be like that, which you're not going to do it that way. I just want to get those fingers out so you can see it. So third string at 2, ring finger at 4, and you're playing that 4 first. Then fourth string open. So you want to make sure that ring finger's down first. And you could release it. Then you're going to play on the fourth string 2, 4, third string, hesitation, third. You could do it another way. You could go, and you could slide up to 4, or do it both ways. So let's put all of them together. Here's your first phrase. Here's your second phrase. Here's your third phrase. Fourth phrase. Now, when you do that, make sure you put the phrases together. Repeat the whole thing. It's played A. It's played A. Sorry about that. Let's do that again. Now, I want want you to notice, and I talked about this a lot, you notice when I'm playing it slow, when I'm teaching it, when I'm thinking, it's very, very hard because I'm trying, my hands are not playing. All right, when I say my hands are not playing, the muscle memory is not engaged because I'm thinking. That is my goal for you, is that you can just play through the song without thinking. It's so much easier. So many times when I'm playing a tune, I'm completely 100% daydreaming. All right, I'm not focused on every little thing because my fingers know where to go. When I break it down, it's much, much harder. So there you have part A of The Girl I Left Behind Me. Make sure you get that memorized, play it at the different speeds. And by the way, pay attention to the chords you're kind of making, because you're going to find that's going to help you when we come to the chords. All right, so just think about that. I'm not going to really show you, but when I do show you, it's going to kind of click with you. Thank you, patrons, for your giving support. Thank you for making this happen. And anyone who might consider being a patron, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated and very, very helpful. There are expenses to this. This is what I do full time, and I don't get paid other than what people give as a donation basis. And patron is a great way to do that. There are benefits to becoming a patron. You get a sticker that says Brett Ridgway's Learning for Life. It says I support traditional music, and it's a very sharp looking sticker. You see it there. You also are invited to a monthly patron meeting where we get together every single month for about an hour. Sometimes it goes 2 hours, but it's usually an hour, where we do workshops. If people need help with something specific, we cover that. The patrons have a great input into what we do in those meetings. And then also you get all the patron exclusive lessons that are only reserved for the patrons. And I do save the best. I also, if you're interested, have a Clawhammer banjo book. You'll find on my website for their tunes in double C. And you also see a completely banjo CD called Full Circle. Everything that's in there is banjo. So if you hear a bass in the background, that is not a bass. That is a cello banjo. If you hear backup, where most people use guitar, I'm using a different banjo. So there's the contrast. It's all banjo 100%. There's not one other instrument in there called Full Circle. You can find that also on the website. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for sharing these lessons, for helping getting the word out. We will see you next week for part B. So thank you, have fun, and God bless.